What is the one thing that truly matters when it comes to crowning the best system of the decade? Exclusive games. Most games from third-party publishers are cross-platform unless a timed exclusive contract binds them to a particular system for a short period of time. However, this is rare. Feel like playing FIFA or Madden? Congrats, the world is your oyster. Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, or Doom? No problem, they're on all systems. So, how awesome a console is based off the exclusives you can't get anywhere else. Features count too, such as online services, VR support, controller options, or built-in game capture functionality, but honestly these things are becoming more standard as tech grows. Obviously cost counts as well, but consoles in the same generation are priced fairly competitively given their power levels and options for 4K support or lack thereof. So as the turn of the decade comes to a close, what console provided the best gaming exclusive experience? First of all, I just want to say that the Nintendo Switch is a great console with an amazing suite of games and a wealth of cool controller options. With the likes of Zelda, Astral Chain, Mario, Mario Kart, Smash, Splatoon, and many more, the Switch is a great option for Nintendo fans, particularly ones that like the flexibility of playing on the go. You know, Breath of the Wild is so good it's almost worth the price of the system by itself. But the PlayStation 4 is really on another planet, especially compared to the Xbox One, which I'm really confused the direction this incredibly powerful piece of hardware has gone. 7 years in the making, only one Halo game, which was botched, no Fable 4 in sight, no follow-up to Lost Odyssey or Blue Dragon, and honestly just nowhere near the amount of stellar games that other systems will give you. I'd like to first start off by giving some screen time to a game I have just completely lost myself in. Bloodborne. You can only play Bloodborne on the PS4 and it's an absolute treat for anyone who remotely enjoys action games. Thematically, it's as purposeful as a game gets. The broody tone, the cryptic storytelling, the visceral bloody combat, they come together to form an unforgettable experience, made solely to get players immersed into the darkness. And you cannot help but be immersed. Bloodborne is a literal maze of inescapable nightmares, feeding you a constant sense of fear and urgency, as the play button won't save you from any of it. You have to jump into Bloodborne, into the horror, into the fighting, striking back to regain health, aggressing with no shield, carving your way through the dark, the grime, the violent, and the weird. Rom and her army of tepid spiderlings, Ludwig the Freak, the Orphan of Kos, Mother Brain, Screamers in the Chalice Dungeons, or Mikolash's psychopathic dead eyes.
No, we shall not abandon the dream.
The twisted material crawling inside Bloodborne is what I remember years after playing it. It helps, too, that the gameplay is a blast, meaty and brutal to no end. The moment it clicks, the great deadly dance of Bloodborne is the moment you become entranced. And at this moment, exploring becomes so compelling. You're drawn into the game, yet still frightened. Getting better though, but you'll never know what you'll run into. Your pulse will stay high in Bloodborne. You have no choice but to overcome the obstacles it throws at you. There is no game like Bloodborne. The atmosphere, the challenge, the dark art, and the bloody beauty. It is phenomenal. Three months earlier, enter Horizon Zero Dawn, one of the most underappreciated games with a novel and inventive game world, really fun, stealthy dino combat, and a plot that covers a breadth of interesting issues like the rise of AI, political intrigue, and human nature and self-destruction. Obviously, combining a lush, post-apocalyptic world with giant, robotic dinosaurs seems ridiculous at first, but the story pulls it together in a tight and authentic way. Detail is everywhere, and seeing the story to the end gave me a really profound appreciation for what Horizon was trying to say. It's really sad for Horizon that Breath of the Wild happened to release 5 days after, which was either poor planning on the part of Sony or some freak coincidence they didn't see until it was too late. Link's new adventure was tremendous, and Horizon was criminally ignored. But it was still a solid game nonetheless, packed with a huge amount of content and some really choice side quests like Sun and Shadow and Collateral. I definitely recommend this one. Switching gears to a coveted linear blockbuster, Uncharted 4 launched 2 years after Horizon Zero Dawn, and frankly, there's nothing you can buy that will mimic this kind of experience. You can try with games like Tomb Raider, which are multi-platform, but they don't really come anywhere near close to the standards set by Nathan Drake. If there was ever a game to buy a system for, this is it, and it has always been Uncharted for Sony. It's dumbfounding how good this game looks. Vista after vista, they continue to stun, with attention to detail that is mind-blowing and a draw distance that can take your breath away. Even the most inconspicuous places like a room in a house pours with detail as you discover these tiny interactive details in densely packed environments that make the game feel very much lived in. The environmental storytelling is off the charts again thanks to linear game design, allowing for tailor-made surprises, purposeful level crafting, and moments of awesome interactive gameplay sections. Roger Ebert once said, "A video game can never be art." Obviously, this guy never played Uncharted 4. This game is one big piece of art, and unlike a painting, you can actually play it. Though Nathan's tales of treasure hunting will never reach the heights of what Naughty Dog did in 2013 with The Last of Us, Uncharted 4 is still one of gaming's most well-crafted adventures, period, and a proper send-off to the franchise. Not only do you get a fantastic action game, but with the presentation of a blockbuster movie and the support of a cast worthy of feature film. Uncharted nailed it again. After the rave of Uncharted 4, the PlayStation 4 continued to gain traction and release even more all-time greats well into the future. 2018 has to be one of the greatest years, with 3 standout titles no one should miss: Spider-Man, God of War, and the remake for Shadow of the Colossus. Let's not also forget an exclusive time contract for the fantastic Tetris Effect and Yakuza 6. Now throw in the surprisingly solid Detroit Become Human, and it was more than a year to remember. God of War is a game of striking parallels. It's ruthless, barbaric, almost animal-like. Yet also fairly sensitive. The boy, the lessons he learns, the meaningful strides of the story, and Kratos becoming better. Even his voice, it's mellowed out, stone cold, determined to teach.
Find your way home. Steady yourself. Exhale and release.
It's also fast-paced, but also deliberate. The combat, it's quick and savage, yet purposeful, some would say even tactical. Not as frantic as prior games, yet spacing and distance, they still play a vital role. And it's large, somewhat open, yet with focused storytelling and linear exploration. With his son at his side, it's not a harsh action game anymore, even amidst the blood of battle. God of War is a game of lessons, built through moments of actual gameplay, standing alongside the carnage and mistakes of Kratos' past. Execution-wise, it's brilliant. Not only is it a fun game to romp through, but uncommonly deep and personal. If you missed it, you didn't just miss another God of War game. You missed the God of War game, and the action game of 2018, a new benchmark for the genre. Spider-Man would arrive in the fall, and much to the surprise of the industry, would become one of the best PlayStation 4 offers. Not ironically, superhero or comic book video games seem to always suck, as they have to be rushed out the door in time for the red carpet movie premiere. Without a good time to build a proper foundation, the rest of the game usually crumbles and crashes and burns. But not Spider-Man. Spider-Man seems to be a game that was made by a team that had no boundaries or deadlines or motivations towards past entries. It is a game that is solid by itself. Not only is the web slinging a ton of fun, but the story hits home for any long-standing fan. This isn't a superhero game just. Spider-Man focuses on both the man in the suit and the mature story of Peter and Mary Jane, both at the same time and in a pretty good balance. Woven into the crime fighting, the boss battles, and the airtime in New York City on the web is an extremely fun and well-paced human story. They nailed weaving a grounded story into the open-world comic book fun of this game, something that is not easy. Then they added in tons of fun side content, collectibles, and outfits to find while you mess around in this beautiful open world. Hard not to recommend Spider-Man as the open world game of the year, 2018. Rewind 7 years though to 2013 and the launch of the PlayStation 4, and you might not have ever imagined how good the system was going to be. After all, on day one, all you could really get your hands on was Killzone Shadowfall and Knack, with not much more until The Last of Us Remastered hitting the scene the following year. It really wasn't until 2015 that the console really started to kick it into overdrive with Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, and Ratchet & Clank. But after that, it just kept getting better. If not for Persona 5's excellent take on the JRPG or GT Sport, it's the very underappreciated Until Dawn or even Nioh. If that's not enough, just look at the remasters. The list is long and epic. From Joel and Ellie's Unforgettable Tale, my favorite game of all time, to Ratchet & Clank, Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy, Crash Team Racing, Spyro, and of course, Shadow of the Colossus, a true masterpiece. There is a seriously large amount of powerful games available to any PlayStation 4 fan. It's sad that some did crash and burn though. Infamous Second Son, Knack, Drive Club, Killzone, and The Order 1886. But every system does have its fair share of flops, just like Halo 5 on Xbox, State of Decay 2, ReCore, Rise Son of Rome, and Crackdown 3. If you look at what the PlayStation 4 offers, both good and bad, you almost don't even notice the rotten eggs. The PlayStation 4 has a pantheon of great titles, some all-time great in fact, and is well deserving of System of the Decade. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. It is the last video of 2019, and I want to extend a very hearty thank you to anyone who watches my content. I very much appreciate you as a viewer. I try to read as many comments as I can. I know I don't respond to as many as I probably should. I just don't have time. But just know if you leave me your comments, there's a pretty good chance I have read it. Let me know what your console of the decade is down below in the comment section, as well as a list of games for that system that you could not live without. I'll catch you guys in 2020, where there is going to be some massive changes coming to this channel, which I will discuss in a future vlog very shortly. Take care, guys. Stay healthy. I'll see you then.